Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. We are super excited to invite you all to join us for this client preview as we launch our new 3D rendering feature in ZoomProspector. I am here with some colleagues today. As you can see, I'm here with Stevie Field-Chavez. Hello, Stevie.
Hi, Lisa. Happy New Year, everyone.
Yes, absolutely. And Pau Rodriguez is here with us as well, as is Pablo Monzon. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
So what we're going to be showing you here really is, I think, quite revolutionary. This is really the future of online site selection. What our engineering team has actually done is made it possible for you and your site selectors and your prospects and anyone who visits your website to quickly and easily draw and design, save, and then share any 3D renderings that you would like. And this is available automatically for every single property that you'll find in ZoomProspector. It is already live as of this morning, so you probably have noticed it if you've been on your ZoomProspector tool. If you have not yet, then please check it out as soon as we're done here so you can start playing around with the amazing technology that we're putting at your fingertips. So really the idea with this new tool is that we wanted to make building simulation easy both for your team and also for your prospects and your website visitors. You want your site selectors, your prospective investors to feel in control so they can literally imagine themselves on the properties in front of them. This is so important, especially with pandemic restrictions. We're seeing more and more cases of site selection happening in an entirely digital context. And so we wanted to make it possible for you to do these simulations without relying on expensive, time-consuming experts who have to do these, time-consuming and expensive renderings. This is now just automatically available for everyone. So you'll see that it is now possible to find this on every property in your ZoomProspector tool. We're going to show you that you can create as many different 3D renderings as you like on any property, that you can easily customize them with design options. This is very easy to follow, no training, no design expertise needed. You're going to see that it is possible to save as many as you like. There's no need for a login to do that. You come up with names that you're going to be able to remember, and then they will be there for you. You can share these with a link, so that's really important because you can use it in all kinds of different ways. Once you have saved your designs, those will be available to you and only to you from the property report. You can still share them with anyone else, but other people who visit the property report won't see all of the ones that you've saved unless you choose to share them. And then you can use these simulations in so many creative ways for proposals, for presentations, for different kinds of promotion, for marketing of different kinds. And so with that, what I'm going to do is turn this over to you, Stevie, so you can walk us through how the 3D rendering tool works.
Very good. Thank you so much, Elisa. I'm going to turn my webcam off because I want everyone to be able to see my screen. I hate to ask this question, can you see my screen and can you hear me okay?
We can see your screen and we can hear you. We still see your webcam, which is totally fine, but just so you know it's there.
Shut that off. There we go. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to spend some time here today on this site. This is just an internal site. As Elisa mentioned, if you're a client of ours, this should already be on your application. So get on it, click, play around after you can kind of see how it works. And don't worry, you won't break it, but that's how we learn is by doing. So if you're not yet a client, you can always contact us and we can give you a demo and show you how it's done and answer any questions that you have. So we are here actually in the Miami-Dade area, and we're going to select a property and let's kind of get an idea of what a business would look like or a building would look like on this particular property. So you can see I'm right here kind of in the middle of town. Let's scroll in a little bit. I want to get close to this little parking lot. So I'm using all of our maps are interactive, so I'm using my little toggle here so I can get close. And if I 3D shift and press my mouse button here, I can get different angles. And this is standard with any property or any map experience. I'm going to deselect my labels here and zoom in a little bit closer. And now I'm going to go to my 3D rendering button at the bottom on your map tools. It says the new button. So I'm going to place my mouse where I want to start my building. You can see my little blue line. I'm clicking every time I want my building to stop. And this is just going to give my prospect an idea of how their building could look in this center. So you could see I got a little creative with the size and the shape of my building. Now you're going to get a 3D box that pops up that's going to kind of estimate your height and your approximate square footage based on the space that you've drawn. If I want to modify that, I can simply get really tall because I have a high-rise building. You can see at the bottom here, we have zoom out with instructions, zoom in with instructions, and rotate. And it does specify that this rendering is simply a simulation. I'm going to close that little box because I already know kind of how, which buttons do what. So I want to look at different options for my exterior design and different colors. So I'm a very visual person. I'm thinking I'm going to go more kind of in the purple area just to get a kind of an idea of what this might look like. So let's scroll out a little bit. I'm going to look at some of the exterior designs. POW has done an amazing job with providing many different examples of different building types that we can insert here. We have everything from no decoration, which will just be a block of your color. We have brick, windows, and people, which is more office, a green building, office and housing. I mean, we have multiple different buildings to choose from, and it goes all the way to manufacturing and then the toy bricks, which we'll get to later. So let's select this brick, windows, and people box. And I think we need to kind of modify the way this looks. So I'm going to extend my horizontal and extend my vertical. So now you can see that it really is looking a lot more like an office space. Let's kind of shift this up so I can see from different angles. Right now I am just pressing my left mouse key and the shift button to get different views of the building and what it would look like. I can also control the light intensity and the opaqueness of that building. Now, we mentioned that you can save this and you can attach it to different property cards. So to simply save this building, I can apply this and I'm going to label this whatever my building is going to be called. I'm going to say 3D rendering. I should probably have typed this before, rendering number 2, and save this. So you can see my 3D design button just went dark blue here, which is just going to let me know that that is saved to the application. Now, once you save them to your application, you're the only one that can see them. And Pau and Pablo, you can probably elaborate that a little bit more. So these can only be found on the user's experience of that saved 3D design, correct?
Yes, so basically you can save as many as you want, and then you can share any of them with anyone you want it. So I can send it to a prospect, I can send it to a potential client, etc. And then if I want to make one of them permanently for all users, then you can do that too. And you do that in the admin. I will show you that later. But basically it's like you can create 1, 2, or 3. Your users can create them too, or your site selectors can create it too, and they can all share it between each other as many times as they want to.
And you know, we practice this internally, and because we really wanted to make sure that this, you know, what the experience was like, and we sent this, and I was able to view this same building on my phone. So while the drawing on the mobile is still in testing and in development, you can still view them on any device. So if you send this to a site selector or a prospect in your community so they can get a better idea of what it would look like if they developed a building there, they will be able to view it on any type of device. So I think that's pretty awesome. So we're going to go, let's go to another building here. Let's go to Gator River Industrial. And we're going to scroll in a little bit. Let's get in kind of close to the water and just get another idea of what it might look like close to our building here. Again, I'm going to shift and I'm going to click with my mouse so I can get a really good idea of what this building could look like. Select my 3D new drawing tool, and I'm going to start clicking with my mouse. You see that little, my blue line here. Every time you click, it's going to stop and set down your building point. And again, I'm just trying to get a little creative here with my building point. Thank goodness I did not do that for a living because I'm not very good at that. Again, you have your instructions here at the bottom, but we don't need that. I think I want to increase the height so we can get a really good visual of what this could look like. We have different options for building. Let's do, how about a metal dark with windows? And again, you can play with the scale and sides of the building. We can do window stripe. Gives you a better idea. We can also do, one of my favorites is the toy bricks. So let's see, we've got to bring this in a little bit tighter. There we go. So it just has the different color bricks. It's just kind of fun. We can talk about light intensity, how opaque it is. Apply this to our search. We can rename this. We're just going to call it 3D3. Whoops. Let me learn how to type 3D3 and save that. And again, like all of the tools that GIS planning creates for your website, you have the ability to share at any time during your user experience. You can hit that share button. You can email directly within the application itself. You can copy the link. I always suggest you rename the link, embed that in a electronic newsletter, on any of the social media sites, within an email, within a proposal, and you can always, you have that, and your user will see what you're seeing on your screen by generating that share button. And I was going to share that. We're going to copy this, and I'm going to right click, and I'm just going to go straight to my design. Just going to take just a little hot second here, and you can see there it is. There's my design right there. Shift, click, so I can see different aspects. Whoops, excuse me. Thought we turned all that off. How, Pablo, do you all want to add anything on the experience here or what we're showing?
Yes, I think we're very happy to be the first one to do 3D for everybody. Basically, before, I mean, we know that people cannot do that in the user interface. Now, not only you, but your site selectors, your visitors, they all can do this. So they can design multiple buildings. And it doesn't have to be just one, it could be many. And then you can say, okay, this land could be like a data center. This land could be a call building or a office building. So you don't have to limit your imagination to just one. You can provide multiple examples. You can share them with your prospects. The other thing that we're very proud to be the first one is the first one to be in 3D in mobile too, because then you can also, your prospect can have this user experience too in your mobile phone, which is very important now that we know that most visitors are using mobile. One more thing is we put a lot of designs already, but if for some reason there's one that you think is important and it's not there, just let us know. It takes 1 second to add a few more designs. So if, for example, you want a different design that is not there, just let us know and it can be added. Okay. The other thing is in the admin, you will have a new way to publish the building that you want for everybody. So you can do as many as you want. They will all get and save as many as you want. If for some reason you want to be visible to all your users, you have to go to the admin. There will be a new tab called 3D tab, 3D rendering, and then you can just publish that design, whatever design you want, to your website, and then everybody will see it. What do you think? Questions? Oh.
Yes, we do have some questions, actually. That's great. So can you just show again how to share these renderings on social media or email? I'll let you.
Absolutely. When you've developed your building, there's the button, you have your PDF option, your print option, and your share option. And these, again, are consistent throughout your entire experience on any of the GIS planning created application and tools. It's super important that you're able to communicate what you're seeing with prospects and people that you're working with. Your share button will generate here at the bottom your code, so you can copy this link, and I always suggest renaming a link, and you can embed that in a social media newsletter, in any type of format that you like, even directly email right here in the application.
There's another question to somebody's asking if it's free, and yes, it is free for all of our clients and for your users and for your visitors. So your visitor, your site selections can create as many designs for free, no extra. Is it already included in your renewal rate? No extra cost.
It's that is such a tremendous gift. I think that's why we waited and shared the news over the holiday. I mean, I'm a former client. There's a few of us here that are former clients of GIS planning, and to be able to get something like this that just allows you to help visualize what a prospect's building could look like on some land is really so helpful in economic development. It really is pretty cool. And so if you're a client of ours and you're on the line right now, you can get onto your application, start playing around with this. If you are interested in more information, you can certainly call us up and we can schedule a personal one-on-one demo with you and answer all of the questions that you may have about this and all of the GIS planning tools that come in this suite of ZoomProspector. And if you are looking to be able to play on this on your own, and you're not yet a client, we can find a client site close to where you are. It could be your state, could be one of your local utilities. You're welcome to call us and we can help you find a site that you can get on and play around and just experience this for yourself.
Excellent. So another question that we've got is, when I save a 3D rendering, is it in my browser cache, or if I clear the cache, does it go away?
So so two things. So it is in your cache, but we also save it in the database. So it's kind of both. So when you clear your cache, it will go away. But if you go to the admin, you will see all the designs that you saved. So basically, even if you clear your cache, we're saving them in the database. So when you go to the admin, you can just go back to see any of them at any time. And then you can also publish any of them. So it's kind of both, basically.
And so that's actually a really good point, because another question is, if you're a ZPE administrator, can you see the renderings that other users have created for that particular property?
You will see all of them. Yes, exactly. So you can see when you go to the admin, you will see basically, like for that building, there have been 5 designs created. And then if you like any of them, let's say that one of the site selectors created one and you think that oh, wow, that's a good one, and you want everybody to see that, you can publish that one. And you can do that with one or many. It doesn't have to be one. So basically, all the design that you do, all the other users do, if they save them, they will go to the admin. And in the admin, you can view all of them and you can publish. And publish means that you can make one visible to anyone that goes to your website.
Pablo, that's a pretty amazing thing. Just for everyone on the call, to kind of really wrap your head around that. So again, as a former client, that's where my mind goes, is with the analytics that we provide you that allow you to actually know the name of the company on your website. If they're getting on and drawing a building, a prospect that you're maybe working with, you're not quite sure if you're getting through or if they're really considering your community, but they're getting on your website and they're making some 3D drawings and you're able to see that in the admin. Boy, doesn't that answer the question of who's on your website and is your website working?
Exactly. That's so important. You can start to see what prospects are starting to imagine for a space.
Right.
I think very valuable knowledge. Actually, Randy asks, how do you clear renderings you no longer want? So if he was playing around and saved some renderings, is it possible to delete ones you no longer want to keep that you've created?
I just hit cancel and that building went away. In the 3D design, I think it only saves for you. It hasn't been actually sent to the application that everyone sees in public, so you don't have to attach that design to the application permanently. Pablo, did I answer that question correctly?
Yeah, that's correct. And then also in the admin, there will be a delete button, so you can delete something if you don't want that design to ever again. So you will in the back end, when you go to the back end, you can view them, you can delete them, or you can basically publish any of them.
We're getting some amazing feedback from people saying this was a fantastic new client, a new tool. Thank you very much. So we're really pleased to see that kind of reaction. Another question that we have here, is there a limit to how many models can be constructed? And will the addition of more models change any existing, or change the URL length is the question. So if we add other designs, will it change the URL length? And is there a limit to how many renderings you could make?
You can have as many as you want. That's not for any property or for multiple property. There's no limit, number one. Number two is each rendering has a unique URL. But if let's say that you say 5 renderings for a property and then you send a prospect that property itself, then they will be able to see all the 5 renderings if you want to share, if you publish them, right? So basically there's no limit on how many. And the URL is kind of both. You can have a URL specific for each rendering, but then if you publish them, then you can just send a prospect the property report, and then they will see the 3D design button, and then they can see all the designs that you publish. So it's kind of both.
Excellent.
So basically, you can send that to a prospect. You can create an email, say like, okay, design number 1. In this site, we have 3 possible designs, and you can send the link for each design, or you can send the link to the property report, and then they just click the 3D design button and they see all the designs. So either way.
Excellent. Okay. And then someone asks, do we as a client have to request this upgrade, or is it?
It is available for everybody already. You don't have to request it. No.
So you could go to your ZoomProspector right now, and it's live as of this morning. You'll be able to
exactly.
It's there already.
It's another good question here. Somebody's asking if anyone else can do this, like with a different vendor, and we're the first one to do it for everybody. So, I mean, nobody else can do it in the user interface. Nobody else can do it in mobile, and nobody else can allow all users and admins to do it right in the user interface. So we're happy to be the first one to do that.
And it is so easy. It's so easy to use.
And it's so easy. Yeah, that's the other thing.
I think it's so important. You know, I mentioned that some of us are former clients. I am not a GIS person, y'all. I'm not a techie person. I've had to set up a new computer all week, and it has been awesome, crazy. But it's so important to know that as a non-techie, non-GIS, non-really computer person, that I understand how to do this and that I know how to save it. I mean, and it's really just poking around and doing it one time, and you've got it. You're gonna get it. That's why we say you can't break it. Get in there and start clicking buttons.
Nobody else can do that in a few clicks, basically. So it's 3 or 4 clicks, and then you have a design, you're ready to go, and you send it. So that's one thing that we are very happy about, that is so easy to use.
Stevie, one client asks, one of our attendees asks, could you show a warehouse versus an office building in the design options?
This is what I would consider an office building, although I think we've got a couple of options. We've got a green building, which we just showed. This is kind of office and housing. And again, you can play with the exterior a little bit by the extend horizontal and extend vertical options here. So I can make it look a little bit different. We have steel and black tiles. So that could be, you know, those could be windows and balconies in my mind. And I'm a visual person, so all of this really just helps me visualize how this might look. Some different window shapes. Again, play with the design and all of our.
Right, because a warehouse might be a lower building. It's possible, even once you've drawn it, to go back in and make it a lower building and then adjust the design in that way. Exactly.
Absolutely. And I think I know that all of our tools are ADA compliant. So I think by changing the color, this continues to stay up with that. Let's do our light intensity. Again, play with the opaque. And I can't help, it's the child in me, I guess, that just loves that toy brick building. I just think that that's kind of fun, just to be able to get an idea of, I mean, you want to talk about something that's going to stand out.
And you guys are the experts too. So if there's any type of building that you don't see that you would like to add in the design, you send it to us, like a picture or something, and then that's the beauty of this tool, is it takes a few seconds to add new design. So we will expand the library of the exterior design to as many as we can, because there's no limit on that too. We just need like, oh, we don't have a warehouse building this type, and then it can be added.
The other point I think is Stevie's showing us with the color palette here is that if you want to create images for 3D renderings that suit your brand colors because you want to include them in a presentation or a proposal or other kinds of collateral, you have the color palette there for you to choose, so that it becomes possible to create renderings that fit in seamlessly with your branding.
There's another question here that is interesting. Is like, can you add the pre-design to the proposal? And the answer is yes. We're going to add a button in the proposal system so that if you send this to a prospect, they can see also the 3D design that you created.
Excellent. Look, I see we're coming to the end of our session here. So I am just going to put up over here here, I'll put up our questions field. So if anyone has any questions, you can send them to us, of course. We're also inviting anyone if you're creating 3D renderings, we are developing an online gallery of the best creations. Of course, that will be linked to a specific property report. So if you want to send any of your 3D rendering creations to us at marketing@gisplanning.com, or of course, you can put them on share them on LinkedIn as you would like, use the hashtag GIS Planning, that way we'll notice that they're there. And we're happy to help promote your properties, your beautiful creations, and add your renderings if you want to our online gallery of 3D creations. We're really excited to see what you can create and what your website users create as well. You can reach out to us if you have any questions, of course, at support@gisplanning.com, marketing@gisplanning.com if you want ideas for how to use this in your marketing. And of course, you can always reach us at sales@gisplanning.com as well. We would love to hear your feedback, so please reach out to us. Thank you for your loyalty and for being part of the GIS Planning family. Stevie, Pablo, Pau, always a pleasure co-presenting with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.
Excellent. Be well. Thank you very much, and take care. Bye-bye.